everyone, this is Seraphira, and welcome to Dual Universe. So, this game is finally in beta. I just logged in. It is day 1 of beta. I think the webpage is having issues, not necessarily the game. Of course, purchasing your beta subscription might be difficult when the webpage is down. But since I was in alpha, I have access to beta until it comes out in, I don't know, gold release, I guess we'll call it. So, Dual Universe is what they are describing as a civilization building game. It is an MMO. There are other people here. Let's just go see who this is. I can't tell. There we go. I guess that's Thradelos or something like that. Attention, new arrivals, restart core tutorial. Press button. Press this button. Activate.
Welcome to Alioth, Novian. I am Ophelia, the Arkship AI. I will assist you in your first steps, seeing as you just woke up from an extended cryosleep period. Keep an eye on the chat window in the lower left part of the screen. It contains a transcript of what I say, with important information about which keys to press. There is a button, near the window, that you can use at any time to replay this tutorial in the future. I have marked it with a green waypoint. You can also abort the tutorial by pressing the abort key at any time, but this is not recommended. You have much to learn after your long cryosleep. To start with, let's make sure your motor skills are not affected. Simply head towards the green waypoint behind the stairs, using the movement keys.
Okay, so we'll start moving in a moment. Dual Universe. I don't know if that's somebody's ship or if it's part of the space. I don't know. It's basically a building game. But it's also got PvP aspects to it. So you can craft. I don't know. It's mind-boggling how well you can craft in this game. So all of this base here that you see in front of us is created using the actual tools of the game. There's many things you can do with these tools. I'm not going to get to that, probably even building it all in this episode, but maybe I'll do a little bit, but it'll be pretty basic, like a flat piece of land. And you should be making bases, and things like the things you see below there, these are people's ships. I don't know how they got creating them so quickly, but they've probably been playing longer than I have. I think I just started last month, maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, it's kind of amazing. See that guy's ship? It's actually making noise as he takes off. That's totally constructed probably by a player. You can save what they are called as constructs into blueprints so that you can mass produce them or sell them, the blueprints, to other players. Looks like the moon went kapoosh on me. Yeah, so let's move on with the tutorial here. Let's look at the map actually before we move on too far. The tutorial may ask me to do that, but so this is the world that we're in. We are apparently in, what did it say, 7? District 7 hub, if you see in the center of the screen there. I hit M for map again. So these, I don't know if these are player-owned stations, but you can use the mouse wheel to zoom in. Because they're in this purple zone, it makes me think that they are not player stations. I apparently over here, so this must be a 7 spot. It just says tile. So you can make waypoints, set as destination, and then run towards these things. We're eventually going to want to go out and build somewhere. Let's see, I did see is that there were some, as you can see, some red. That means that they're claimed already. The Empire's territory. He may have claimed a few. There's this one. I don't know what this M means. It's not really listed here on these on this key. But Ophelia, I think that's the name of the UI or AI that was talking to us. But these are probably players. So I don't know if there's like a shop area there. But last time I did this, I think I was up somewhere around here. I don't know if the map has changed or not. It doesn't. It looks similar. So I think I was off, and I probably came around here. It isn't that hard to actually run up to where you're going. Don't know if I want to be up here in the vast cold, but looks like people already have. So these must be guilds / corporations or whatever. So we are on a planet called Alioth, or however you pronounce it. Earth apparently was destroyed by some sort of star or nova or things, supernova or something like that. So we decided to get on an arc ship, which is this object right here, and they traveled to Alioth, where we're starting over. We have much more advanced, technology than what we started out with. One of the things you should be working on. I only have 800. See, I'm earning talent points, and I'm not buying anything. I'm going to start out with mining and inventory. I'm going to. Alright, so I used a little bit of my power. Now my nano pack has a little bit more space in it. Let's go to miner. I think I want to do scanner. Okay, apparently I put mining range in there, which is fine. I'll come back to this. Let me do one more. We'll do the scanner, get that one up to the second level. That should give us plenty of time for this video, hopefully. Alright, let's follow on with this tutorial here.
Very good. Now, let's try the jump action. You are in perfect shape. Great. Let's try your headlight, which is very useful in dark areas. Press the headlight key twice to turn it on and off. Now, take your time to look at the world around you through the glass panes. This gigantic planet is all yours to conquer, as well as the many other planets in the system. You are free to shape the world as you see fit. Build an empire, explore the vastness of space, create a trade federation or a pirate alliance, or live secluded on a forgotten moon. There are no rules here, except for the one you make for yourself. When you are ready, follow the waypoint and look through the marked window.
Okay, so there we go. We have to go 18 meters. That's not actually very far.
The buildings in front of you are one of the many district areas of Alioth. Districts contain all the facilities that you will need to begin your journey. In particular, they host institutes where various tutorials are located. We will get back to that later. Now, it's time to go and start preparing for your journey. Head downstairs and follow the waypoint.
Okay, so you can hold down shift and it does give you
Continue down and get close to the screen, marked with a green waypoint.
holding the shift will make you a little faster, but if you double tap W, um, you go much faster until you let go, that
Let's
is.
begin by looking at your tools. Tools are located at the bottom of the screen in the form of quick access slots. You can select them with the quick access keys. As you can see, the last slot is currently empty. We will now learn how to equip a new tool in that place. Approach the highlighted tool dispenser unit next to you. Dispensers are elements, which are objects you can deploy in the world. For example, chairs, windows, plants or doors are all elements. Some elements, like this dispenser, can be activated by pressing the activate key while pointing at them. Activate the dispenser now.
Okay, I'm going to hit inventory just so you can see what I've got in here. And it's already a speeder blueprint, apparently.
Very good. The dispenser just gave you a new tool that is now stored inside your inventory. The inventory contains everything you can carry around with you. Let's open it by pressing the inventory key. The inventory is a central interface for managing everything you carry around with you. It contains items like tools, materials, elements, or blueprints. We will look into it in more detail through the various specialized tutorials. For now, locate the repair tool that was just given to you, and simply drag and drop it into the free slot below.
Okay.
Well done. Note that the inventory does not have an infinite capacity, it is restricted in volume. Thanks to the nanopack technology, this volume is pretty huge, but still, better keep an eye on the size of objects you store. Now, simply close the inventory by pressing the close cross on the top right. Okay. We are now ready to continue downstairs. This time, we will need to use an elevator. Move to the designated waypoint. Elevators are connected together via up and down links. Stepping onto an elevator and pressing the crouch key or the jump key will allow you to transfer to the next, or previous elevator in the chain. Simply step on the elevator and press the crouch key to go down. Welcome to the main room. You can get back anytime by stepping on the same elevator and pressing the jump key to go up. In front of you is a miniature reproduction of the Ark ship. You can perhaps see the real Ark ship through the windows in the distance. Let's try to also find it on the map. To open the map, press the map key. This is Alioth, the planet on which you currently stand. You can rotate the planet by clicking and dragging it with the mouse. You can also zoom in and out with the mouse wheel. Zoom until you can clearly see the hexagonal tiling on the planet's surface. Each of these tiles is a territory you can claim. Tiles in red are already claimed. Tiles in purple are non-claimable, and mostly exist around the Ark ship. The Ark ship is represented by a small icon in the center of the purple tiles area. At any time, you can center onto your position on the map by pressing the center icon on the top left. Try it now.
Okay.
You can also mark any place on the surface of the planet to create a waypoint. Waypoints are displayed in your HUD so that they are easy to track. To set a waypoint, simply right-click on a point on the map and select Set as Destination.
So we're going to try to come up here. I think I'm going to try to be, if it's not claimed already. There is somebody nearby that's claimed this, so let's try to go over to this bay over here. Set as destination.
Very good. There are still many areas on the map that you will learn to use over time. For example, the selector area here allows you to list your constructs, review bookmarks, and see any available warp beacons or other points of interest. In the lower right corner, you can find the list of current objectives in a tutorial. usually with hints on how to achieve them. For now, let's just close the map. Press the upper right close button. You may have seen on the map that certain territory tiles are claimed. To claim a tile, you must deploy a territory unit on the ground. Let's have a look at one. Follow the waypoint.
Okay, let's find out where that waypoint is. It's over here.
As you can see, it's quite huge. Once a territory unit is deployed onto a tile, this tile belongs to you. It means you can start to build constructs on it, you can decide who holds rights to dig the ground, and whom else can also build next to you. Territory units are quite expensive and will probably not be the first thing you deploy on Alioth. Instead, we have a much better way to let you grab a piece of land. Let's discover this now. Follow the waypoint behind you, to the elevator on the end of the room, and move up. This will take us to the observatory.
Alrighty, let's. There we go. And
Welcome
jump.
to the observatory. From here, you should be able to see Alioth's moons in the sky. One of them is a very special moon, called a sanctuary moon. We will explain what that means, but first, let's try to locate it. Let's open the map again, by pressing the map key.
Okay.
The map also contains a solar system view. Click on the System tab to open it. Here you can see all the planets currently accessible in the system. Select Alioth, the planet where you currently are located, by clicking on it. As you can see, Alioth has 3 moons. One of them looks a bit like a twin of Alioth and is marked with a small shield icon. This is the Sanctuary Twin Moon, or the Twin for short. Select it by clicking on it. Excellent. Now, let's click the Set Destination button to get a visible waypoint in the 3D world, pointing to the twin. We will need that soon. Good. Now, before we leave, let's have a look at the surface of this moon, and find out why it's called a sanctuary. Click on the View Planet button. This twin moon, just like Alioth or any other planet, is also covered with tiles that you can claim. A sanctuary moon is a moon where no combat will ever occur, as it is a safe zone. This means that every territory you claim will remain yours forever, and nobody can take your belongings or build anything there without your consent. This is a great way to create a safe haven to store your valuables and build your home. Getting to a sanctuary moon and claim a tile should be your first goal in Dual Universe. You can claim only one tile on a sanctuary moon, and you will need a special sanctuary territory unit for that purpose. Let's go and get one. It's free for all new Novians.
That's nice.
Close the map window. Notice how the sanctuary twin moon is now identified by the waypoint in the sky. There is a shuttle service, which we will introduce at the end of this tutorial, that can bring you there. Now, let's get your sanctuary territory unit. Simply follow the waypoint to the nearby dispenser and activate it. Fantastic! Now that you are equipped with your territory unit, let's get back to the rest of the tutorial. Head down via the nearby elevators. Now is the time to present the key pillar activities that are available for Novians. Each of these will be presented here quickly, and you will later be able to discover more about them via the institutes and their dedicated tutorials. Let's head to the mining station first. Follow the waypoint towards the downstairs platform.
So, one of the things I had to do right away, this is before we get there, I had to go to graphics, and I had to change my resolution down to 1920 by 1080. Otherwise, it was, the FPS was so slow, it was like, when I was playing, so.
Mining is one of the primary activities. This is how you acquire raw materials, if you don't simply buy them on the markets. Those materials are located either on the planet's surface, or they can be buried kilometers deep underground. Surface materials have a low value, while more valuable materials, from level 1 to level 5, are found deeper. As is often the case, to access the surface mining activity, you will need a tool. Here is the Harvest tool, which is highlighted in the toolbar below. Pointing at harvestable elements on the surface and clicking on them, while the Harvest tool is equipped, will allow you to collect them. Press the Quick Access key for this tool to equip it, usually the first in the toolbar, but it can be any number corresponding to the equipped slot number. Great! Unfortunately, there are no surface harvestable elements here, so you will need to go through the dedicated tutorial in the Mining Institute to practice. Now, unequip this tool by pressing again the Quick Access key, corresponding to the equipped slot number. To begin mining deep underground, you will need a way to scan for available materials in a large radius. This is the job of the scanner tool, highlighted here. Once in close range, the directional detector will help you pinpoint the location of the material. Finally, to collect the found material, or simply to dig your way down, you will use the mining tool, highlighted just below. You'll learn more about this in the interactive mining tutorial, located inside the Mining Institute. Now, let's talk about the markets. Get close to the waypoint.
Okay.
Markets are an essential part of Novian life. This is where you can sell the materials you mine, but also buy anything that you might need. Markets are physically located in the world. They are accessible either via market pod units, like the one in front of you, or via the integrated nanomarket interface. The nanomarket interface allows you to browse markets at a distance, but cannot help you to deposit or recover items that are traded. For that, you will need to directly interact with a market pod. Very quickly, let's have a look at what the nanomarket interface looks like. To open it, press the nanomarket key.
Open the nanomarket interface. So, see, the tutorial might be a little buggy here where we've lost a transcript. Open the nanomarket interface. Is that up here, or do they want me to just click on that market? Maybe that is it.
You can search for a particular item that you would like to trade by using these search boxes. Nitron is a fuel you will often use and frequently buy. Type nitron in the search box to get access to the nitron markets.
Alrighty. So, as you can see, they gave us a balance of 200,000 nitron.
You can see the market orders for nitron. These are all the intentions to buy or sell nitron by other players on various markets in the solar system. You can pick the cheapest or the nearest offer, depending on your priorities. You can also create your own buy or sell orders, or let the system pick the best offer for you. We will look into this at the end of this tutorial, when we will buy nitron for your speeder vehicle. For now, let's close the nanomarket interface and continue our visit. Okay. Let's now have a look at another important activity, industry. Go to the industry station, just a few meters on the left.
Okay.
In front of you is an assembly line, one of the many industry unit elements in the game, which includes things like chemical reactors, blast furnaces, refineries, or smelters. Each industry unit type is specialized through certain types of recipes. The assembly line can take ingredients in an entry container, like the one here on the left, and then run a recipe to craft elements. The elements are stored in the exit container, as seen here on the right, that can be chained as an entry container for another industry unit. To select the recipe, there is an industry unit interface that you will learn about in the dedicated industry tutorial inside the Industry Institute. Thankfully, entry-level recipes for simple products can be run without an industry unit. For that, you can use your integrated nanocrafter. Before we open the nanocrafter, let's get some ingredients we will need from the nearby dispenser. Approach the dispenser and press the activate key.
apparently that's it.
Excellent.
Yep.
Now, let's open the NanoCrafter by pressing the NanoCrafter key. We are going to craft some fuel.
Okay. So I hit
Great.
K.
This interface allows you to pick a recipe and run it in the background to produce simple products. On the left is a selection area to pick a recipe. You currently have just a few ingredients, which allow a limited set of recipes to be used. Press the Show Only Doable checkbox to display these recipes. Excellent. Now, let's click on Nitron Fuel to select the corresponding recipe. The panel that appeared shows you the necessary ingredients, which you just retrieved from the dispenser. It also offers the possibility to add this crafting job to the queue. Simply click on Add to Queue to start producing a batch of 100 liters of nitron fuel.
You can see they gave us exactly the amount. We have 20 out of 20 for 40 out of 40 for everything we need.
Fantastic. As you can see, your job is now in the queue and you will have a batch of nitron ready in a few seconds. That will be all for this short introduction. There is of course more to know, and you can go to the Industry Institute to go through the specialized tutorials. For now, let's close this window. In general, crafting jobs will continue in the background, and you will get notifications when jobs are completed.
Alright, the other thing to know about crafting is it takes a ton of materials. It takes...
Now let's learn about building, and how you can use all these materials and elements to create amazing constructs. Just turn to the station on your right.
That apparently. Okay, so it takes a ton of materials. It takes a lot of time. You can see this one only took a minute to make. Let's see if I can find... I don't want stuff that's in the NanoCrafter. Let's look at it. Assembly. So there's several levels of assembly. You should be able to make this in your NanoCrafter. So extra small and small. Once you get to medium, though, it says craftable in assembly line M or S. So you don't actually have to make this extra small one unless you just want something quick. It doesn't use as many materials. As you can see, the small, going from extra small to small, you go from one of each to 6 screws to 5 basic powers, 1 basic control panel, or basic mobile panel, which is a small size instead of an extra small size. And then the reinforced frame went from extra small to small as well. If you click on those, you can see what you need to make them. So this uses 11 steel for the small frame. The extra small frame only needs 2. Let's just see. So as you can see, the small takes 8 minutes to create. The extra small needs 2. But as you get bigger, 32 minutes, 2 hours and 8 minutes for a large one, and 8 hours and 8.5 hours to make the extra large. I'm sure there's talents that you can choose that will speed this up. You're probably eventually going to want that, especially if you want to build things. If you don't, you just want to do PvP, then you probably trade enough things. So let's, I guess, continue on.
This bizarre construction in front of you is called a construct. It is a mix of deployed voxel materials used to sculpt a shape, and deployed elements to make it functional. The first element you deploy to create a construct is a core unit, as highlighted here. It will create a building zone, within which you will be allowed to build. Core units come in different sizes, and also specializations. Static core units are for ground buildings, dynamic core units are for ships or anything that moves, and space core unit are for space stations. Once you have created your building zone, you can start to deploy matter, as voxel honeycomb materials, or voxels for short. You have a large palette of tools and materials to help you sculpt absolutely anything you like, regardless of shape or complexity. Finally, you can add elements to your construct, in the form of engines, doors, lights, fuel tanks, or any of the hundreds of available elements that provide functionality to your builds. Building is a vast subject. It is advised to go through the various building tutorials located inside the Building Institute. Note that the building you are currently in, as well as all the other buildings outside, are entirely made with the in-game building tools. Also, some of the cool constructs you can build not only include static buildings, but also space or atmospheric ships. Let's have a look at this now. Follow the waypoint to the next station.
Alright, I don't know if they're going to give me the speeder, but this is usually what you start
This
out
is
with.
a surface speeder, a very basic ground atmospheric vehicle that is both convenient and cheap to build, and allows you to move around planet surfaces. You will be gifted one at the end of this tutorial. Everything in this speeder is functional and plays a role in making it work. Let's quickly review the different elements that it's composed of. Here are the hover engines, which help the speeder float above the ground. These extra small atmospheric engines are used for propulsion and moving forward. They require fuel, taken from this atmospheric fuel tank. Adjusters are small elements used to create rotational forces and help balance your ship. You also need brakes to be able to slow down. And finally, you need a piloting seat to be able to fly it. Activating this piloting seat activates the ship, which is how you take control of it. All these elements are orchestrated via a Lua script that is generated automatically for you. But you can also modify it via a right-click menu on the piloting seat to create absolutely any kind of control you like. Note that piloting in the atmosphere of a planet or in outer space can be very different, and involves different types of engines and design. Gravity may ground you if you have a heavy cargo on a high-gravity planet, while it won't matter in the darkness of space. In Dual Universe, piloting is an art, a subtle interplay between your piloting skills and the craftsmanship of the ship designer. You can learn more about piloting in the dedicated tutorials in the Piloting Institute. Piloting is not only about navigating your ship, but will often also involve combat. Look up at the fighter above your head. I've highlighted the weapons that are equipped on this small ship. There are many more types of weapons, ammunition, and damage types. Each has a specific role. This is a small fighter, but you can also build giant battleships with a crew of hundreds of people, each assigned to a particular task. There is much more to discover about combat, so you should definitely visit the Military Institute to know more. Now, let's go to the last station and learn about organizations. Follow the waypoint. Organizations are a fundamental part of your social life as a Novian. They are groups that you can join, covering things like nations, corporations, alliances, or even group of pirates. Let's have a quick look at the organization interface. Open it by pressing the organization key. As you can expect, you are not part of any organization yet. Let's click the search button to find out what are the currently existing organizations. You can search through this list, focusing on open organizations, which are recruiting, or sorting by member numbers, name, or language. To apply for an organization, you need to open its details page. Click on the name of any of the listed organizations to open its details page. In this window, you can see a summary of relevant information regarding this organization. This area will allow you to apply to join this organization, along with a place to write a quick introduction to go along with it. Joining an organization can be a considerable boost for your new life as a Novian. Choose wisely. You can now close the detail window. You can, of course, also decide to create your organization from scratch, even if this is a little bit more advanced. For example, managing an organization involves legates and members, rules, voting, and management of rights. This is something you will discover later. You can now close the organization interface. Excellent. You have covered the basics. Now, let's move to the next step and talk about talents. Follow the waypoint.
Okay, I personally think they should have talked about talents probably from the beginning, but this works. One of the things they did kind of just really gloss over very, very quickly, but is extremely important in this game is just because you can carry, in this case, I can carry 4,200 liters of product, uh, doesn't mean that your ship can. Last time I played this, I had the speeder that they gave me. I went mining, basically mined up as much as I could, got on my ship, and the ship wouldn't move because I was too heavy for the ship to pick me up. So just be aware of that these ships do not, unless you upgrade them in order to carry a heavier cargo, which includes yourself, uh, they probably won't be able to get you around where you need to go. So you're going to have to build something specific to hauling around a lot of stuff, especially on the atmosphere. Once you get out in outer space, it sounds like your weight doesn't matter as much because you're in the vacuum of space, but a lot of the stuff that you're going to be mining, obviously, unless you find an asteroid somewhere, you're going to be down on a planet and you're going to want to carry it back to where you're going. And if you can't do it on your ship, you're going to have to run back home, drop it off, and then run back to your ship and bring the ship back. So what's the point of even having the ship? So you make sure you build it right.
To start with, let's open the talent window by pressing the talent key.
Okay, so F2.
Talents define your character abilities. They are grouped into categories that are displayed all around your avatar in this window. Here, for example, is the mining and inventory group. Click on it.
Oh, here. Well, it seems to have gotten stuck here. Mining and inventory group. So I wonder if it got stuck because I had already started working on talents. So I don't know if the tutorial is now stuck because I had already started training. It kind of appears so. Yep. Well, anyway, it appears that the tutorial is now stuck because I knew to train talents before it brought me to this part of the tutorial. Let's, I don't know. I think for now, guys, that's where I'm going to end it. I've already gone at least over 30 minutes here. So, I guess with that said, as always, guys, really thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. See you later. Bye-bye.